as you know, we're doing a Women Are Talented series with Recruit My Mom for Women's Day. And today I've got a really exciting topic. It's regarding returnships. And we know that companies like IBM and Deloitte, PayPal very successfully use what they call returnships or back to work programs or recharge programs to attract particularly tech skills back into the workplace. So what is a returnship? Well, a returnship really is about inviting people who have previous work experience, who may have taken a career break, particularly moms, and inviting them back into the workplace to reskill and upskill so that they have up-to-date skills. And today I'm really pleased to have Tamsin Bamford with us, a full stack developer who has recently done a returnship with a tech company here in the Western Cape. And we thought it would be really interesting to ask her all about it, but also to be able to enlighten employers about the benefits of utilizing returnships for scarce skills that we have in South Africa. So Tamsin, welcome to our chat today. It's really nice.
Hi, Philippa. Thanks for having me.
It's such a pleasure. It's such an exciting topic. So Tamsin, let's kick off. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about your background, a little bit about yourself. I know you're a mom of two, and just get some context to who you are before we delve into the returnship side of things.
Yes. Hi, Philippa. I studied a BCom strategic management honors degree, and I did my treatise on how information technology can be used as a competitive weapon. And this enabled me to get into the tech space. So I hadn't studied computer science, and I was employed by an IT company on a graduate recruitment program where they skilled me up in being a programmer and developing systems. I started off with SAP software and did some big implementations in South Africa for Anglo-American Platinum and AECI explosives. After that, I moved to the UK and I did some SAP work with Penguin Books and Shell. Shortly thereafter, my first child arrived and I was given a year's maternity leave. And after having a year at home with my precious baby, there was no ways that I was going to go back to work. So I've actually been a full-time mom for 20 years and decided this year to return to work. My eldest son is at Stellenbosch University and my youngest child is just finishing off school. And I didn't want to have this empty nest syndrome where I just didn't know what to do with myself. So that really has been my driver to get back into the workplace.
And that in itself is a brave decision. So congratulations. I think for many women, just to get over the confidence, to have the confidence enough to get back into the workplace is really tough. So well done for doing that.
Thanks, Philippa. It's a big hurdle to get over in your mind because you do think, oh, wow, especially technology has moved on so much. How can I possibly go back? And I was totally wrong. It's actually not so hard. And although technology has moved on a lot, the fundamentals of projects have not changed. You still have the same project flow, the same issues. And once you know one programming language, you can easily learn another. So things have not moved on as much as I was concerned about.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So tell me, in your 20 years when you were raising your sons, because I know you have two sons, did you keep yourself up to date, or was this really stepping back in after 20 years of not having done a lot with the technology?
So actually during COVID, when we were all stuck at home, I started doing some LinkedIn courses, which are phenomenal. They really were invaluable. And I did JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I did a whole host of courses, not knowing that I wanted to go back yet. It was really just something to pass the time. And I'd actually been looking at going back into the workplace, selling something and sort of thinking, what can I sell? What can I do? And a friend said to me, but you've got so many skills. Why are you looking for a product to sell? You can sell yourself. So that really was a big push to get me back out there. I think actually I have got something to offer. Yeah.
That's great. So let's move on to your internship, or as we like to call it, a returnship, because now you were returning. You weren't coming straight out of university, straight into an internship. How did it come about that you ended up with this returnship? And what was it like starting out?
So it came about through a conversation with a friend whose husband owns the company that I'm working for now. And she just opened the door to the opportunity and said, we offer internships. They do it for graduates. And so it was all people wanting to enter the space who've been in a different area. And she said, if you can do JavaScript, we've got a job for you. You can have an internship. It was an unpaid internship, which actually took the pressure off me. I knew they weren't paying. And, I was just putting, in there to learn. I didn't know that, it would continue after the internship. So it was actually easier to go into an unpaid position than I think I would have been quite daunted at the thought of being paid when I thought I knew so little.
Oh, that's amazing. And so you thought you knew so little, and then you started off. And
Yes.
then was that fact? Did you actually start from scratch, or did you actually realize quite quickly that, you actually knew quite a lot?
The first 2 months were very intimidating. Just lots of new technologies, lots of new things to get into. But I'm in a very supportive team who really nurtured me and supported me and were there to help, as I hit stumbling blocks. And very quickly, I was able to work independently. So you do need a supportive environment.
Yes. That's great.
Yeah.
And Tamsin, what were your greatest challenges for you personally going back into this environment, or into the tech environment especially?
So I think the biggest thing was my time has been my own for 20 years. I didn't have to be anywhere or follow anyone's schedule. So getting into the routine of working, I have gone back half day, which is actually a nice way to ease back in. I think I would have struggled with a full day position from nothing. But yeah, it's all just slotted into place.
And how old were your contemporaries, your other interns with you?
At work, they're young. So at the start, I shared an office with a young guy the same age almost as my eldest son, who was new into the workplace, and he had done an internship. So it's a very young environment. A few of us oldies, but not many. It's just lovely, dynamic place to be. Really fun. And I think the team is enriched by having young and the old, male, female, a good mix of skill in the team.
So talk me through this enrichment that comes from having older people in the team as well as younger people, because so many people have the sense that if you've got a tech company and it's all young people, that you need to retain that culture by only employing young people. So talk me through the advantages of having this diversity of age skills in a company like a tech company.
Yeah, so when you've been in a large corporate, putting in an IT system, you've seen got so much experience of what goes wrong in a project, what's required, what is expected, and you can really bring that to a young team who haven't experienced. For example, when we first started, the young guy I worked with said, "What is scope creep?" Scope creep is when the client just wants more than what is spec'd. So it's just teaching them the experience you've had from large projects. Also, as you get older, you are calmer. Being a mom gives you huge problem-solving ability. you know, and you can do many things all at the same time. So there is a lot that a senior mom can bring to a young environment.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's really is very, you know, it's such a great way to describe it, because I can imagine that there is not even mentoring, but training going both ways, where the younger people are training you on certain things, but you're training them on certain things. So you're getting this cross training, I would imagine.
Totally. You're learning from each other, and you're all on the same level. There's no superiority. You all work together, and you just bring your experience and your stability and your work ethic, and it all helps each other.
That's great. And then Tamsin, you went on to be employed permanently by this company.
Yes,
because
that's
you did
right.
so well. Congratulations on that. That's a wonderful way to enter the market again. And
yes.
So if we want, you know, if you were to give advice to employers that are watching our discussion on returnships, you know, we've got a really big shortage of skills in South Africa, tech skills, but we have an incredible pool of talented moms in South Africa, particularly who have years and years of experience. They may have taken a career gap like yourself. You know, what advice would you give them on how to do it well, how to do returnships well, and the advantages that you believe are there for an employer looking to find skills that are quite scarce in our nation?
Yes. So Philippa, I would really recommend that if you bring on someone who has had such a long break as what I had, is bring them alongside a very strong technical lead that will be supportive to them and get them going. Because if I hadn't had someone to help me initially get up to speed technically, it would have been really, really difficult. Luckily, I was in a very supportive environment where I wasn't scared to ask. So I would say bring them into a supportive team, make sure they've got someone to ask. And I think that you can get skilled moms up to speed really quickly. So I would say 2 months. You know, after a month I was going, after 2 months, I needed a lot less help.
Yeah. And then have you started running your own projects now, Tamsin?
Yes. I'm working on my own project, which I'm responsible for, and really enjoying. Still with the support of my development lead, who I can ask questions at any time.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, Tamsin, I want to thank you for your time just coming to chat to me. I think it's incredibly exciting. We recognize that there's a skills shortage in South Africa, and I also recognize that returnships like yours can be enormously successful in a company that is willing to support returning moms who want to get up to speed with tech, particularly, or any other skill. But I just want to say congratulations to you. I'm very proud of you. I think that it's a wonderful story of success, both for the company and for yourself. And you took a very brave step. And so, yeah, we salute you.
Thank you.
Congratulate you. And
thank you so much, Philippa. And I'd really encourage others to go ahead, go for it. You've got nothing to lose.
Absolutely. So we're talking to Tamsin Bamford, a full stack developer here in South Africa, who's just completed a returnship and is now employed permanently by the tech company that bravely took her on as an intern. And we are just excited to be able to share this with you, and hope that as employers, this gives you another opportunity to be able to tap into great skills within South Africa. I'm Philippa Geard, CEO and founder of Recruit My Mom. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us today.
Thank you.